Hey guys, welcome back to Real Estate Uncensored. We have an amazing show. Our guest had to cancel. He had 2 listing appointments today. Larry, we'll get you back on another time, my friend. No problems, no hard, no foul. We're going to be talking about 2024 lead generation ideas, getting back to basics, going high tech, low tech, going belly to belly, and then doing online ads, offline ads, really getting into the weeds. We've got about 12 or 15 ideas here we're going to go over with you. I want you guys to stay tuned. One of my favorite ones is at the end. Now, it's called the Orphan Program. Now, I want you to listen in to the Orphan Program because this will radically transform your business. Now, before we get into this, Alyssa Glutz, my beautiful color host, my beautiful co-host from Color My Credit.
Host.
How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm like early St. Patrick-ing it, if that's a word, over here.
So we both can't talk today. Perfect.
Yes. Decided to be green, like a leprechaun. Okay.
Let's get into 2024. I mean, this is going to be a weird year. Is a political year. We're recording this on the 7th of February, which I can't believe it's that far in the year already. Now, there are a lot of folks saying that you should still go high tech and do the videos, which I agree on. Facebook ads, LinkedIn, so on and so forth. But I want to get more tactical on this episode. I really want to dive deep into it. What's your first lead off on an idea for lead generation for 2024 that a tactical idea that somebody can put into work at a low cost, no cost?
Pass. No, I'm just kidding. We discussed so many good ones. I don't want to take anything from you. Okay, but I talked a little bit about the subscription box. I'm pretty passionate about this idea. There's a website called Amazing Clubs. And that was something more about a possible good closing gift or something that keeps the people that already like you, they already did business with you.
Right.
So that you stay front of their brain, because we all know a lot of people, I can't remember the exact statistic right now, but it's like about, 85% of people at closing would say, I would use my realtor again. They're amazing. But do they? No,
only actually about 3 to 5% actually reuse their agent. The reason why is because of the fact that there's no follow-up whatsoever. Now, I have been guilty of this myself, and this is why I preach it so much, because your past clients know, love, and trust you. They've already spent time with you. They've already given you money one way or the other.
Yeah.
Why would you not pop by and say hello, do a closing gift? But with like the box idea or amazingclubs.com, which I put the link here for amazingclubs.com, guys, if you want to check that out.
Or just staying connected on social media these days, like simply ending. How many clients do you have right now that when by the time it's closed, you guys are connected on social media, on Facebook, on any of those things? How many of them don't even know you're on social media because you really keep a separate life, or you just forgot to mention it, or you just didn't connect that? Do you have a thing about adding clients to social media and things like that?
Yeah, so I run everything off of my own personal site on social media. Everything's on my personal sites. I don't have a business one. My belief is this: a lot of people have business phones and business accounts. I can't stand that because I don't have the time to check all that bullshit. And so I put everything into one bucket. And so like today, when I get done here, I'm going to go pop by and see 2 of my past clients and friends of 20 years and reconnect with them and say, hey guys, how's life? My girlfriend made some cookies for a bunch of friends. So I'm going to bring them some cookies and just reconnect with people. I have closed more deals by purely having a conversation with somebody. Here's a funny thing. For a lead gen idea for 2024 is simply showing up for the appointment mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Because what I have found, when you're there and you're resident with somebody, that's better than a Facebook ad or anything else, because we've lost the ability to connect with the other human beings because of technology. Let me give you a story about this. So I went on a listing appointment 2 days ago, which I got the listing. Is about $895,000 listing, right? And I had Rupert, my dog, with me. And this lady, when I got to the car, because I left him in the car,
Mm.
And she's like, "Oh my God, you have a dog in the car?" And this fat ass pot-bellied pig walks out. And this thing grunts like you wouldn't believe. Like
Mhm.
I thought I was having a heart attack.
Yeah.
But she's like, "Oh no, my God, get your dog out." So Rupert and the pot-bellied pig started walking around the property. This lady was smoking cigarettes, and we were talking about trucks, life, pigs, dogs, so on and so forth.
Right.
Rupert then decides to take a shit in her backyard, like in full view. And I'm like, "Oh my
You're
God,
just like,
I'm so embarrassed." And so I walk over there with a bag and I pick it up and I put it outside and blah blah blah.
you're
But
like trying to be cool by your picking up. Yeah.
I'm picking up doggy poo poos. And dude, she not only let me take the listing right there on the spot. We had to get
Mm.
the paperwork done, which we got done today. But it's amazing to the fact that she canceled a listing appointment with a friend of hers of 20 years who she went to high school with, who
Mm.
was going to list the property. But
Wow.
she turned to me and goes, "You're my guy." And I'm like, talk about going belly to belly, face to
Yeah.
face, and going tactical with somebody and talking about random dumb shit that, I mean, honestly, we both laughed our butts off about,
Yeah.
but we had a connection. We're losing the connections, and I feel that could be the biggest thing that we could do in 2024 is reconnect with a human at a human
Totally.
level. Now,
Totally.
I've done almost a million cold calls. Yeah, personally, in my 25 years, and that's just me calling. That's not my VAs or anybody else. Just me making cold calls.
Oh my gosh.
I'll tell you one thing. Cold calls, let's get to this point. Cold calls, I think, are a very interesting opportunity because that's very top of funnel, right?
It's kind of the oldest school stuff, right? Is your
Old
cold calls
school.
were kind of the realtor way. Yeah.
It is the realtor way. There's actually a photo of my dad in Boulder, Colorado. He was featured in the local newspaper in the 70s, and he was doing cold calls on two different rotary dial
That
phones,
were like this
changing
big.
ears
Yeah.
like this,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, funny.
And so that is old school, but that's top of funnel. Then you bring it in, then you go for like lunches, coffees, dinners, snacks, but you don't just go the two of you. You bring other people in that can benefit both of your businesses. So now
Mhm.
you're a connector, not just a leech.
Mhm.
And agents have what we call commission breath. It's just like, "Oh my God, I need a deal," right?
Right. Right.
Take away commission breath and go with friendship
Right.
and build a friendship with somebody. Because here's the thing. I was talking to another person on a walk the other day about this, and they're like, "Why in the heck would you ever ask so and so out for a cup of coffee or something else if they're not going to sell?" I said, "Real simple,
Mhm.
because they know people I don't know, and if I can build a relationship and a personal, opportunity there to bring value." I closed 7 deals last year purely on referrals from friends of 25 years ago because
Totally.
we stayed in contact. That
21
is
years of
power.
my business, same thing. It's been almost 100% of somebody a warm lead. I've never bought a lead, like paid for leads, but it has been more of the taking care of my people, my sphere, my and just pouring into them with the same mentality you said is like not having an expectation of, what am I going to get out of this? I have a lot of people around me that'll say, what's the point of you doing that? What are you going to get from that? If they can't concrete see that this will lead to that, right? Then they think it's a waste of my time. And I'm like, yeah, but you forget that I walk like this. So it works. You can find ways almost all the time where if you're really truly bringing value to that person, they will find you somebody. Like they will go out of their way to go, who I got to go out because this is what I know as a way I can benefit and thank them. And it just doesn't mean that you're doing something to get a thank you, but you'd be surprised when you do just lead with trying to make someone smile, trying to make their life a little bit easier, give them some information that would be valuable or interesting to them, like anything like that. They're going to keep this place in their head and be more open to looking for ways to help you. But you do got to speak it every now and then. You do have to say, without being like annoying, but saying how important it is to point out that you do what you do for a living. Because you really can go two ways, right? I'll let you talk, but with social media, it's like I see somewhere Some people, realtors I know, they only will post about their business. Okay. And it's very consistent. And I'm listed this house, I'm that. They don't really talk about their family or personal life or anything like that. Some people will post their political views, their jokes, their kids, like they're just all out there. And if you don't like me, who cares? I don't care. Find the ones that do, right? There's all different ways of going about it. But what do you think is the best ways that work? What do you think that the people today are being taught, like new agents in school? Are they being taught to focus on just being professional or more personal?
I think there's a blend. There's different methodologies. For myself, I'll tell you one thing. I am extraordinarily honest with people. Like, I will tell you anything and everything about my life. And I had a client about 3, 4, no, oh shit, it's probably like 6, 7 years ago now. Fuck, time flies. She's not dead. She's an Indian gal. Her name's Rima. She doesn't care if I say this. And she was a client of mine as a buyer. And she was neurotic about what she wanted to buy, and she was irrational. So I said, look, I can't represent you. This isn't going to work for me. Like, I can't do this. You want to buy, that's a shitbag property you want to purchase. I'm not going to represent you on this because I don't want to get sued and I don't want you to hate me.
Right.
So she got real mad at me. And then she came back around to me and goes, oh my God, Greg, your advice was the best advice I ever heard. Nobody has ever told me no in my life. Because she's a very, very beautiful woman. Right.
Yeah.
And so she's like, no one's ever told me no. And I'm like, welcome to reality, honey. This is where it starts. And so she got a kick out of it. And so when she fired me and I fired her as a client and as an agent, and I just walked away from the deal. I remember it's very clearly. I was in Tahoe when I had the conversation with her. And I'm like, look, we can't work together. And she's like, I can't work with you. And I'm like, see you later. Hashtag worst client ever.
Yeah.
I said that to her. She calls me back and she's like, hey, Greg, it's worst client ever. Hi. And she's been a dear friend of mine.
I was going to say, I bet you she's one of your dear friends these days.
Dear friends. And she's referred me so much business. And every time I call her, hey, what's up? Worst client ever. And it's the relationship building that was the most important thing, in the trust. Because if I conceded to her request, I would have done her a disservice. And I think a lot of the times our advertising and marketing does a disservice to the customers and clients because it's self-serving for us. We're never saying, hey, I want to help your family. We're always saying, hey, we're number one. We're trying to swing our big dingling around the marketplace.
I want you to know I should be respected. Right.
Yeah. Respect my authority.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever. But here's the difference. When I asked her, why did you call me back? She's like, because you were honest. So let's talk about honesty, and let's talk about how to create events where agents and lenders and consumers can come together and have an honest conversation, not a self-serving conversation. And that's the thing that bugs me the most. And I've done it, guys. I always tell you, I am not perfect. I've done all the bullshit I talk about. I'm just trying to tell you guys not to do the same bullshit I did. That's all I'm trying to tell you. But Alyssa, give me some ideas on couple of ideas for events or opportunities where you can be authentically honest in your own realm. Just so from your point of view, how would you create client lead generation if you didn't have a phone, if you didn't have the internet, and you had only people around you, and you had to be authentic to you? What would you do?
God, that's hard. I was going to say all these other things, and then you said take off the internet. Okay. I'm going to say probably if I would get involved with my HOA, I would get involved with my local PTA. I would get involved with as many organizations out there that bring people together. Meetup. I know a lot of people do those like meetups, and I've never done that, but I would find something. I know that when I went through my divorce, I know this is an internet thing. It doesn't have to be an internet thing. But when I went through my divorce back in 2015, right at the beginning of 2016, I was like, gosh, I'm going to go through it. And I bet you there's going to be a lot of other people, women I know, that have either been through it or going to go through it. Maybe I can start like a Facebook group and make it private. Like it's not something I'm putting out there to try to grow huge. It's like nobody knows about it. I'm going to put 100 women in there that I know, that I love, respect. I think they are value, right? All value, 100%. And I'm going to tell them, if you know another woman that fits this description, da 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 da, you can add them. But that's the only way we would ever grow, because no one can find us anywhere. But we're going to have this little secret club, right? And it went from 100 women to 3,800 women.
Jesus.
And it was amazing for like 3 years. It was like my complete backbone. But I met so many women in the valley that we just got to connect, and we were all coming in there for the same place. This wasn't just realtors, which is what I love. Realtors were a very small group of it, and I got to create some opportunities for the women in the group, that were of value. But the beautiful part about it was, it wasn't your typical where you show up at these events and everybody there is either a realtor or lender. You want to be in a room that has every walk of life, and I like lately, it's like a lot of the bankruptcy attorneys and a lot of the paralegals, the different people going through the stages of helping people with a divorce, with a bankruptcy, things like that, because they come across. But you have to really think outside the box, outside the
So
house box. Yeah.
so let's think outside the box really quickly.
Okay.
Something popped in my mind. You're a self-proclaimed dress lover. You
Yes.
love dresses, right?
Glam lover.
Love it, right?
Yes.
So why don't you? This is just a
Yeah.
microcosm of any
Yeah.
kind
You're
of
helping me.
ideas here. Why don't you go to every single dress shop and thrift shop and make friends with those micro shop owners, create relationships and opportunities there for you to really get tactical with them, so you can talk. Give me a name of a dress, a brand of a dress, anything. I don't care.
I got this. Dolce Gabbana. Dolce Gabbana.
Dolce Gabbana. Okay. I don't know shit about dresses, but okay.
Yeah.
So you go to a Dolce Gabbana, store, or you go to where the resales are and you meet those salespeople.
Yeah.
Because guess what? They have wants, needs, and desires for homes as well.
Mhm.
They got to live somewhere. They got to poop
Right.
somewhere. They got
Right.
to put their clothes up somewhere, because those bitches got fucking dresses. So
I love
why
it.
don't we talk about, then you go to the closet shops and you say, okay, closet shops meet dress shops.
Yeah.
Maybe you two should start a partnership. Now you're the
You're bringing
glue to
value.
put the two businesses together. I did this, and I am doing this right now with different liquor stores. And I have my brand on the counters,
Right.
and the shop owners. I go specifically there. If I'm going to buy beer or anything
Mhm.
else, I go there for snacks, water. I'll drive out of my way to go to these shops. They know that I support them and they support me. Then they have both given me referrals, and
Mhm.
they want to talk about doing more marketing because I'm getting interconnected with them.
That's so
We're
good.
we're losing the interconnection on a human level because we're like, oh my god, I just send a text message. It's like,
And it's
no.
partly because it's not as sometimes as engaging and as interesting as it used to be. I feel like what you're saying right now, with your liquor stores, it's not exactly the same thing, but and you were talking about me with my love for the glam and the dresses.
Mhm.
Um, that's a good starting point. If you can find something in you that is something you could do every single day of your life and probably never get tired of talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
you're an excellent bass pro shop person. You fly fish or whatever. You love gymnastics, you love reading Russian literature, whatever it is,
Russian
finding a
literature.
way. And believe me, I know isn't that weird? My daughter, that's her favorite thing. 16 years old, loves
Are you
Russian
serious?
literature. Yeah, for real.
Okay, God bless her.
She's like, "Oh, mom, I'm reading Dostoevsky's newest book." I'm like, "What the hell?" So,
Just
um,
ask what's
I
okay.
know that's his name. So the thing is like, I love fashion so much, and like I said, I had that Claxy women group, and then that was my women empowerment group. But then from there, I joined other sister extravaganza in the valley, influential women of Arizona, all these other groups where it's just smaller groups of women getting together. But then we all go to the Phoenix Fashion Week, right? We all just say we're going, right? Next thing you know, you're talking to, you're working in the group, and guess what? No realtors. There's no presence at Phoenix Fashion Week for realtors or lenders. Like, they're
No.
just not there. And you said to me, why aren't all these lenders? Why would they not be attending every Brian Buffini event, every Mike Fair, Tom Ferry event, all of that? Because you're going right to where you want to be with other people, talking about the same type of things. But even outside that, there's millions of conferences of every kind of interest and hobby that's out there. So you have to
Yes.
part of staying true to yourself, part of standing out amongst all of your competition is getting real with, like, what makes you unique? What's your little, are you in the Mercedes Club group, or I feel like I'm in the ASU psychology major girl group. Just kidding. No,
Dude,
find your group is what I'm saying.
so that's the funny thing you bring that up. So when you
Yes.
have correlations with somebody, right? That's why I love the dog parks.
Mhm.
Because when I'm around the dog parks, I mean, I picked up a couple of clients. I never talk about what I do. I'm
Mhm.
wearing I wear what I always wear. I'm wearing a baseball hat and a jacket and jeans and a pair of running shoes with holes in them. That's just kind of what I like to wear. But people they'll talk about what I do because I don't talk about what I do. They're
Mhm.
like, "Oh, you're in real estate." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, 25 years deep. Sold thousands of homes. How is what's going on? By the way, your dog just took a shit."
Yeah.
And so they'll come back to you once you're not selling them, but you bring value because you're a friend
Yeah.
or a colleague of some level. Let's say you work in a vet center
Right.
or whatever for
But they don't
pets,
smell
right?
desperation from you.
Well, that's commission breath, and commission breath is one of
Commission
those
breath,
things
yeah.
that it is the stinkiest thing on earth. It's like, as a female, Alyssa, when you go to a bar, if you can still go to bars, we're old now.
Not really.
Back in the day when you went to the bars,
Right.
yeah, some dude would come up and hit on you, and he'd be like, "Hey, baby, let's go back to my house,"
Mhm.
and you're like, "I'm gonna go throw up in my socks,
Mhm.
and then I'm gonna leave." So
Yeah.
no, that's commission breath.
Mhm.
And so if you get away from that and you start building relationships with people and you have conversations with people and you listen to people, people hear what other people say, but they don't listen to what other people say
Mhm. They
because
really
they're
don't.
so consumed in regards to what their wants, needs, and life is looking like. That's why this stupid fucking thing, the cell phone, is so distracting because you can have a conversation with somebody, all of a sudden, poof, gone, bye bye relationship, back to cell phone. And
Mhm.
that drives me banana cakes. And everybody likes small little gestures of kindness. Like, my girlfriend's pissed at me right now about I don't know what again. But here's the
Days of our
thing.
lives. Yes.
Days of our lives,
Mhm.
shit. But you know what? I love her to pieces. And
It's part
so
of the
I
game, man. You gotta be
what
in you gotta be in it. Gotta be willing to win.
you have to date your wife, date your husband, date your girlfriend, but you also have to date your clients, not in a sexual manner. Do not
Right.
get that twisted. Dating them in regards to courting them for future business or referrals. Um,
Not
you know,
assuming they're a done deal, not assuming they're a sure thing. Who wants to feel like they're like somebody is with them thinking they'll never leave me, you know? Nobody wants that.
right.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks that about their spouse or significant other at some point. But if you don't keep the spice alive, then they don't remember the spice. Same
Right.
thing
Take for granted.
with clients. If
Right.
you don't let them know that you're still around,
Right.
they're not going to know. I have a friend of mine who just moved out of state. Well, a
Mhm.
friend, he's an acquaintance. Let's make that clear. And I saw on Facebook that he and his wife moved out of state because he got a promotion in his job. And I hit him up. I'm like, dude, did
Why
you
did you
move?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I got a promotion. I'm like, that is badass, bro. Congrats. But what hit me, I haven't talked to him in like 5 years.
Yeah.
And we consistently misunderstand the ability of connection. We just, like you said, oh, they'll never leave me.
Right.
They're always going to be here. It's like,
Right.
no, no, no. They're here until they're not here.
You take it
They're
for
your
granted.
clients
Yeah.
until they're not your clients because we have clients back in the day. I mean, we still do. Everybody does that work with somebody else.
Right.
And then we sit there and go like, well,
You
didn't
get
they
so
know they were my
frustrated.
client?
Mhm.
And I'm like, did the client know that you were
Yeah.
their agent?
Yeah.
Did they know that part?
Did they know you own them? Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't that the worst thing? That I've heard it in a lot of realtor and lender groups, all of us. There's nothing more painful than to see somebody show up on your feed that you know. I'm not gonna lie to you, when you see it and they're like, I just closed on my house, and you're
It
just like,
hurts.
really? I mean, I will tell you that there's been a lot of times that I've even seen realtors who have never given me any business or anything, right? But they watch every single video I put out. They tell me that I've helped them personally so much, but they've never sent me one penny of any client, right? And then you see them, oh, closed another one with Bob. And there's been times where I've been like, okay, we're unfriending, we're blocking, you don't give me anymore. You get so, but here's the thing, that ego stepping in, where you assume even that your mom is going to use you because she has to, none of that. The minute you're assuming that somebody has to be with you, like that you've given enough to them that you expect them to work with you, like that's what's going to get you in trouble every time, is those expectations. And unless you really make it clear, I mean, clear, you have to break it down and go, look, I want to be your loan officer. I
Mhm.
want to refinance and help you buy, not just buy, refinance too when you need to refinance. If you don't make these things clear, don't be mad when they move on and they go, oh, I didn't even know that's what you do for a living. I've had many
Mhm.
boyfriends that have looked at me and said, hey, do you know if guys I've dated and they've looked at me and said, do you know who I should use for a lender? And I'm like,
I do this for a living. I have a huge
what were
following.
we
What are you
doing for
talking
the last
about?
6 months? They're like, well, I still don't know what you do exactly. I mean, maybe, I guess me too. That's my
You
fault though. I haven't made it clear,
but
right?
you make a very good point on that, Alyssa. And the thing is that, do you watch the news by any chance?
I mean, yes, I
Okay.
keep up
Why
on it.
why do you trust the news?
I don't. I trust sources, and I look at stuff, and I all the time I say, oh, that's interesting. That's not real. That's not accurate. That's more of that.
Right, but you're watching them,
Yeah.
right?
I'm taking it in.
So,
Yeah.
the reason why I bring it up is realtors and lenders are like news anchors. We're trusted because you're seen.
Right.
Once you become unseen, you're not trusted because there's no value.
Hmm.
And a lot of us do not understand the value of value add content. Instead of
Hmm.
saying new listing,
Hmm.
right? What if you go to Inman News or CNN or MSNBC or Fox News Business, or pick your vessel, right? I really don't care. And you read an article, you're like, it's pretty freaking interesting. I think my people should know about this. Read it, barf it back out on camera.
Hmm.
Now, if you do it consistently, and I mean daily, now you're a news anchor of information for the consumer base that trusts you.
Right.
That now, when people react back to you, my strong recommendation in 2024 would be this. So, Alyssa, I post a video about Inman News does an article about the NAR fiasco about
Hmm.
commissions. It's just the biggest thing out in the news right now.
Right.
So I post that out. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm thinking about selling my house or buying a house. You mean I don't have to pay you anymore? Right?
Right.
So they hit me up, they're like, oh my God.
Conversation. Yep.
So what I have found to be incredibly profound is, instead of just writing them back, I'll send them either a Facebook message or a text message, depending on how close I am with them, video based.
Hmm.
So I'll be like, yo, Alyssa, what up, girl? Hey, long time no talk. And this is me holding my phone, by the way.
That's it. That's such a good thing,
And
Greg.
I just say, you know what? Thanks for responding back. There's some really good details in regards to this article. Let's get together for a cup of coffee. I would love to explain it to you, and I just would love to get time with you.
Right.
Bam. We just went online, offline. It didn't cost you a freaking dollar to
Yeah.
do it. Took
Yeah.
you, what, 30 minutes to read the article? I'm dyslexic, so it'll probably take me an hour. But normal people could probably do it a lot faster. Than you post the video up. It doesn't have to be perfect. But now you're bringing value to somebody. Now you're reconnecting with them. And now, what if
Yeah.
they don't want to do something? That's the big question I always ask. What? Well, Greg, they don't want to sell or buy. Okay, phenomenal. But they know people
I know.
who might be wanting to buy or sell. And that's the relational side of it.
Honestly. Do you have kids? Like, for me, a lot of times it's like, okay, so you guys don't want to buy and you guys don't want to refinance. You don't want to do anything. Do you have any kids that are getting ready to turn 18? Because that's kind of what I do, is help them with building and building their credit the right way from the very beginning. And there's not a parent out there that's going to go, not my kid.
I don't want my kid to ever own a house. No.
I don't want them to have a credit score. It's trash.
They can't be successful.
They have no idea sometimes what to say. Some of them have a pretty good idea, but they're open. The conversation, you told me yourself that that Jacqueline. Is it Jacqueline? Okay, Jackie. I was trying to be formal. That you said, she's a doctor, but what do they all talk about all the time? What do they love talking about? Investing, money, and real estate, all this stuff that's like, that's not their wheelhouse. Like, they're experts over here, but the skill set they have of learning something and mastering a subject that's very difficult. I think women and men, but women a lot, have really been stepping out like, gosh, if I can become a doctor, I could probably learn this whole stock and investment thing and the credit score thing and all that. But I mean, they know that they're going to help each other. Right. And I would bet, my point is that I would bet that even though maybe I wouldn't see Jackie as somebody who would need my help, I'm a credit score person. She's a doctor. She's probably okay.
Dude,
you'd be
that
surprised.
She's got the best credit. I mean, that girl's got
Not
finances on the brain.
Right. So I could just sign off and say she's going to be a waste of time because she's got great credit. She's a doctor, all that. But what I know from what you've said is that she has a lot of people, other doctors in the industry, that they talk, right?
They do talk, and that's life. Everybody talks, right? Neighbors chatter together, coworkers chatter together, and imagine the power if I gave you a cold call, or you hit me back on a message on Facebook or Instagram or something like that. I said, you know what, Alyssa, it's been like way too long. I'm gonna buy you coffee. You pick the day, a weekday or a weekend day. What's better for you? We sit down, we chit chat, we get a latte or whatever you choose, a chai tea.
Or 5. Yeah.
Actually never had chai tea, by the way.
Oh, you got to. It's good.
I know. Everyone says it's great. But you sit down, you break bread, and then you do one simple question. I turn to you and I say, Alyssa, how can I help you grow your business? What does your perfect client look like? How can I help you succeed in 2024? What are your goals? Who can I connect you with? And then you shut the fuck up. And you let the people answer you, because I will almost guarantee you they've never been asked by somebody else, how can I help you grow your business? Instead of saying, who can you send to me?
Right.
Once you shift that 180 degrees, you become an asset, not an adversary.
Right.
And people will pay attention because they're going to go home and they're going to tell their cat, their husband, their wife, their boyfriend, their girlfriend, their dog. They're going to tell somebody, dude, you can't believe I went to lunch with Alyssa and great time. And then she actually asked me like what my perfect client was like. And people are like, I've never been asked that. And that spurs the conversation. It's so mind-numbingly simple. And by the way, after you get done with those meetings, ladies and gentlemen, send them a video text going, dude, Alyssa, girl, it was awesome getting time with you. Loved seeing you. Have a blessed and powerful day. Talk to you soon.
It's a wrap. And
then you're off.
Something that captures that moment. And in that moment, they're creating a story about you. Because, right, all of our personalities are made up of whoever is in front of us, really. Because they're shaping their story of who we are, what we're about, whether they trust us, whether, it's almost like we have a marble jar with everybody we talk to. And we go, okay, ooh, they get a marble. Ooh, getting that marble taken away. It's in the little tiny things, right? You build up this thing. And so I just think it's about being authentic to it too. If you ask somebody, how can I help you grow your business? And then you don't listen for the answer, or you don't follow up with it. Or if they say, what would really help? All I need is like a few more people to sign up for my thing on Friday. It'd be so great. And you're like, I'm on it. And then they never hear from you again. Then bad choice. You got to think about what you can commit to. That's been a hard thing in the last few years for me. It's all like the foundation of your own confidence and self-esteem in the end. But if you are committing to things and being a yes girl or yes boy all the time, but not coming through, okay, not coming through for anything, then you're building a poor self-esteem and you're really building a poor reputation. Like, just scale it back. Don't promise so much. Think about what you can do and then only do that.
Yeah, but do it with passion. By the way, we have a legend amongst us right now, boys and girls. We have Mr. Nick Sakis
I was
here in
going to
the
do my story.
house.
Yeah.
That guy is an absolute master of marketing. Dear good friend of mine,
Love
by
it.
the way. Such a good guy.
I love all your
Um,
AI stuff, Nick. And I want to say, like, I want to get into my Jerry Maguire, what he was saying. Help me, help you. Show me the way. That's my best ad thing.
So let's break that down a little bit more. When it comes to really getting interpersonal connected in 2024, here's something I personally have been doing. I've talked about it for a while, and I learned it from my girlfriend Jackie. That about 3 years ago, she met my family for the first time. It was the night before Christmas. We went to a hibachi, and we had the whole expanded dinner, family there for dinner, and she wanted to bring something. And so she brought scratchers, like the scratch off lotto ticket things,
Yeah.
right? But here's the funny thing. She brought humor with an opportunity. So she taped a penny to the back of every scratcher, and then she gave every person a scratcher, but she said to them, "Hey, if you win anything, I get 10%." So my parents actually won $1 off the scratcher. They gave her 10 cents.
I love it. That's
And
so cute.
but here's what you can do, and then what I've done, I do the same thing now. I go out and buy
I like
one
the
to
penny
$5
idea, by the way.
scratchers.
That's great.
Oh, the penny thing, you gotta get rid of the pennies anyway, so
Yeah.
fuck it. Just mine, it's a write-off.
Mhm.
So I'll take $5 scratchers to listing opportunities with the pennies taped to the back with my business card, stapled to the front. I said, even if we don't do business together because I'm not the right agent for you and you're not the right client for me, here's an opportunity to make some money.
Love it.
That right there has people call me back and follow up with me based upon just a simple $5 scratcher. Now, if you're going to send a postcard out, it's probably going to cost you $1 to $3, depending on the size, the quality, blah, blah, blah. So, what if you just went out and popped by a lead's house and say, like, sorry, Rupert, just scared the dog. Hey, I was in the neighborhood. Alyssa, you and I were talking the other day on the phone, put a face with a name. Hey, I just wanted to say hello. And here's a scratcher. My girlfriend and I love to scratch, these things, which sounds really weird when I say that out loud. Here's a scratcher, a lotto scratcher. Hopefully make some money. And if we want to work together, love to have another conversation.
Yeah.
Just leave it there.
Yep.
The law of reciprocity is going to kick in so strong because you gave something without asking for something. Therefore, they're chemically compelled to get back in contact or at least have a conversation with you. $5, $1, whatever it is, make it fun, make it interesting, make it $2, whatever it is.
Yeah.
These are the things, guys, when you do a pop by, you can go to popbyideas.com, right? So popbyideas.com, and you can get ideas for popping by and just saying hi to people. And this is a seasonal thing. So you can go in the spring, fall, summer, and then each and every month. So what if you brought a thing of Oreos and a scratcher and like a thank you card?
Right.
Who is doing this type of stuff? Besides nobody? Everyone's like, I have to be Mr. and Mrs. High and tight. I have to wear a tie and a suit. I have to do this. I have to do that. It's like, no, you don't. You just need to be you. You just need to be authentic and you just should show up.
Because if you just do it the one time and then you're like, I got no leads from that, I'm never doing it again. Okay. Here's the thing. You got to take a chance. You got to make calculated risks with the type of things that you're providing. We've talked about it a lot before, Greg, about Tony Robbins talks about the 6 human needs. Okay. The 6 human needs. The reason why I think the lottery ticket is so great because one of the 6 human needs is uncertainty, like a level of surprise, right? It's a human need. So I can
Mhm.
guarantee you probably are hitting on a need that person at that time needs. They need to see like this element of like, maybe we win, maybe we don't. Like, let's play a game. This is outside the norm. But what else could you feed into? Here's the 6 human needs. It's certainty. People need to know that certainty. They need to know what's going to happen tomorrow, right? They also need uncertainty. Got to have a little blend of
That's
both,
the mystery of life, and
right?
certainty is like, I know that I'm gonna wake up. Well, we don't know that, but I know that my spouse, is gonna be sleeping in the bed next to me when I wake up. Okay, that's there.
Right.
Cool. I know my dog's gonna take a shit in the morning.
Yep.
Cool. That the certainty
But too
there is
many days of that where it's the same expected thing, you'll start feeling somebody lacking inside because they need almost a little uncertainty in their life. They got a whole lot of certainty. They know exactly that security levels there, but maybe they're missing the I don't know what's going to happen yet, or let's go to a new restaurant for dinner or whatever the case. I'm going to call a new set of people today, like shaking up. I'm going to take a new way to work. They always
yeah.
say that. Try to shake it up. So you've got certainty, uncertainty. Then you've got significance, contribution, growth, and connection. Love, connection. Doesn't
Sure.
have to be
Same
love, but
difference.
connection. But significance. The humans need to feel significant in one way or another. That there's something that somebody would pick you over other people. You know what I mean? Like that there's some sort of significance there. Their life mattered, right?
Well, that's like any listing appointment, or buyer appointment that you go on, and
Mhm,
they're like, you know what? You're my guy, you're my
mhm.
gal, I like you. There's a certain amount of chemicals that get released in your brain when that
Right.
happens. That's why
Mhm.
people have such a hard on for listings. I mean, because it's not, I mean, yeah, it is a certainty, so it feeds into that, but there's also validation.
Mhm.
So now you're validated as a credible professional
Mhm.
and you have certainty of potential income. And I do say potential because we never know how the listing's going to go,
Right.
but you did something other agents couldn't do.
Right.
And I think it's totally
Right.
true. I mean, we feed off those chemicals.
We do. And I know significance means a big deal because there's been times I met a lady who's a realtor who had just signed on with a brand new real estate office. And I said, "What made the difference? I know you went and met with EXP real da, 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 da." And I'm waiting for her to tell me this big answer on how she chose this brokerage versus this one. And she goes, "You know what it was? When I walked in to go meet with the broker, the lady at the front desk told me that she loved my skirt. And I
Hmm.
just couldn't forget that. The rest of the
Hmm.
day, I was like, that's where I want to be, someplace that invites me in. Everyone wants that. Everyone wants to be in a relationship that invites you in, that makes you feel significant. Who wants to be with a guy who says, "You don't want to be with me? Do you want to go out with him or go out with me? I don't give a care. Like, I'll be fine if not, but if you want to go with him, cool." Nobody wants that. Who wants to be in a relationship where you're like, the person's like, eh? So the significance, I think, is big. And that's how you can tap into, like, you're trying to get somebody to list their home with you. You're trying to get this buyer to want to work with you. How can you make them feel significant? Okay. Like maybe it's something that they do. They do art. They have a cool way that they spell their name. And you could go, "You know what? I really love the like how cool your unique name is, the simple things." But people like to feel significant or.
Yeah, I do, and I'm looking down for a reason because there there was a book. Shoot, I did a screenshot on this. Anyways, the book is like exceptional customer service or over the top customer service or something like that. The premise was this is that, and this is based for mainly restaurants and so on and
Mhm,
so forth, but it was over the top customer service. I mean, to the point where if you had a local burger shop, right?
mhm,
And if you walked into the local burger shop, and I'm just using that as an example,
mhm.
and you had someone come up and say, "Hello, ma'am. My name's John. I'll be your server today. How may I assist you? Would you like a glass of water? Would you like lemon or bubbles?" as you wait in line,
Mhm.
and you're going like, "What the fuck? I
No,
just
this is not normal.
what the shit?
Mhm.
Ma'am, would you like a side of fries on us as you wait with some ketchup? What the fuck place did I
Yeah.
just walk into?"
Yeah.
Now, let's translate that into real estate. When's the last time that you at an open house, when you, and I love doing this, by the way, it's one of my favorite things to do. When someone walks into an open house of mine, I will greet them with a cookie and a bottle of water saying, "Welcome to my open house. Here is a snack. Here's a sip. Here's a flyer. Here's a couple of top things to know about the property. If you have any questions, please let me know." People look at me like
Mhm.
I just told them that I was from Mars,
Right.
and I'm like,
It's the
"You,
whole package, like, you invited them in, you know?
yeah, you come into my environment,
Yeah.
and that should be anything in life.
Yeah.
So treat people as if they were more special than they think they are.
Really.
Once once you understand that comment, you will never lack for business in your life.
Right.
Treat people higher than they think that their value is.
Mhm.
They will remember you for life. And you can do a billion phone calls. Trust me, I've done them. I've done almost a million.
Mhm.
There's not a single time on a phone call because I'm missing 55% of my communication package on that one on phone calls. But in person, I'll show up and I always bring people, I ask them, when we meet today, are you a coffee drinker or a tea drinker?
Mhm.
Well, I'm a coffee drinker. Okay. Would you like cream, sugar, or black? How do you like your coffee? I'll just take it black. Not a problem. I'll see you at 3.
Psycho. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, creepy. But I
Black
mean,
But yeah,
when
it's like
w
you're already trying to sense what their needs are going to be.
mhm.
I think there's nothing that's more impressive than somebody who meets you and they're prepared. Like, not only are they there on time, they know who you are. They actually looked up your website ahead of time. Like, they use their resources, not obsessed over you, but just a little bit, where you can tell they wanted to have a proper introduction, a proper first meeting, a proper whatever. That goes such a long way with people. They really feel
It's
like she's in control. She knows what she's doing.
but it's the small things. Everyone's like,
Yeah.
"We have to have the most perfect listing package around or
Yeah.
pre-listing package."
Right.
Here, let me inform you guys after 25 years in the business, licensed, probably more like 35, 40 years because I've been raised in the industry. You are the pre-package. You
Mhm.
are the pre-listing. You are the listing, portfolio. Because once someone likes and trusts you, doesn't fucking
Doesn't
matter
matter.
about anything else
Yeah.
because they already like you.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that it just baffles me on new agents and
Mhm.
young agents and agents who haven't done something before. They don't
Mhm.
start because they're afraid of failure, but
Mhm.
they're already succeeding because they woke up this morning. They're
Mhm.
already succeeding because they have past sales. They're already succeeding because they're breathing.
Mhm.
You don't have to judge yourself on someone else's fucking shiny ass pre-listing package. Now, a lot of people are going to shoot me in the face for this comment and probably going to put it in the comments in the post show. And that's fine. Different people, different procedures.
Mhm.
End of story.
Right.
Okay. I won't dress up again unless I have to go to a funeral or a wedding. I ain't dressing up. Don't
Right.
give a shit. Not
Right.
happening. And I tell people that every single person respects that because I built that relationship, because I got in front of them. I went
Mhm.
eyeball to eyeball, belly to belly. Okay, let's talk about this really quickly. I actually have an interesting idea I want to float past you. You
Okay.
as a lady, me as a dude, right?
Okay. I'm playing the lady.
I don't
Mhm.
think this would work for me. Um, but let's talk about the opportunity for wedding events.
Mm.
Talk about building trust, right?
Mhm.
Everyone's in a heightened state of like, oh my God, euphoria. I'm going to get married, my man of my dreams, or the dude of my dreams, or whatever way you swing. Don't really give a shit. But when you're at a wedding event, you're picking out cakes and plates and chairs. I really don't. I honestly do not know what goes on at those events.
Mhm.
But why don't you show up with a case of champagne and talk to these folks like, hey guys, would you like a free glass of champagne?
Mhm.
Well, yeah. Well, what do you do? I'm a realtor here in the area, just trying to meet
Mhm.
some folks who might be thinking about buying their first or second home and just wanted
Mhm.
to say hello and enjoy the champagne. Have a blessed day.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think about
It's a
that?
small group of I mean, it's a small fee, but my idea would be if somebody was coming to me saying, "I'm gonna have we're gonna get married, and what can I
Mm,
do?" Like that, I'm thinking, saying first, is there some part that I can assist with? Maybe it's even just like a contribution to their flowers or things like that. I know that after we close on people's houses and have a housewarming party at their house, and we're the ones that come up with the money for the catering, when we have clients in the past, Greg, that we close, we have these housewarming parties,
mhm.
all their best family and friends are there. They all want to see the house, and every one of them is looking at us going, who helped you buy the house? And this is my lender, and this was the realtor. And I'm happy to tell you guys that they're awesome. What an easy thing to do.
Oh, okay. I am so glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
That is something we've used for a long period of time. What
Mm-hmm.
we would do is we would go get a taco truck,
Mm-hmm.
cost about
Mm-hmm.
$500.
Mm-hmm.
And the taco guy would be there because we would say, okay, how many friends or family? Oh, actually, let me back that up. We originally talked to our clients to say, okay, you guys are going to be closing on this house or buying this house, whatever it's going to be, saying goodbye to the home or hello to a new home. Pick the scenario. I said, I don't give it it's not a suggestion. I tell them exactly what's going to happen. I say, this is what's going to happen next.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to fund and coordinate a housewarming or a goodbye house party. We're going to bring in a taco truck. We're going to bring in beer. We're going to bring in water. We're going to bring in sodas. Don't worry about anything. We'll be
Mm-hmm.
your serving staff, and
Mm-hmm.
this is what we'll do. Every single time that we've done that, and I'm so glad you brought this up. I totally
Little
forgot about this.
get-togethers. Those are
The-
great.
it's amazing the conversations because when people are getting hash brows on the
Right.
on the Modelo's, and getting some tacos in their tum tums, they're like, who did this?
Right.
And they'll be like, oh, that guy right over there.
Right.
That's my realtor. That's my lender. They're the ones that got us this house or helped us sell this house, so on and so forth. People have come up to me at different parties and going like, did you really do all this? I said,
Mhm.
absolutely. It's
Yeah.
just part of our marketing package and just kind of what we do for our friends and family and clients. They're like, I have
Yeah.
never heard of this before. I'm like, have you thought about buying or selling? Is there any questions I can answer for you?
Mm-hmm.
They're like, no, but my daughter's looking to buy.
Right.
But boom.
It just starts that conversation. But you could even be doing that for rehearsal dinners if you're scared about how
Yeah.
many people you'd have to feed for the wedding. Or better yet, like the bride, if the bride's like, they're going to be getting married and the whole thing, you say, what are you guys doing for your bachelorette party? Well, let me bring in a couple. If you invite me, I promise I'll make it's easy if you can. But sometimes you don't really want to go. Maybe that's not your personality or whatever the case, but you can always say, do something. Hey, let me help sponsor your gifts for for the people in your wedding, like help you a little bit out with that. Maybe I can help you get your hair done, just for the night before, or have somebody come to your house to do your nails. Like you can be doting on people. And I'll tell you what, those are the moments that they will not forget you. In the wedding, and
No.
then the most moments with baby, like a baby shower, and you end up helping them just finding a caterer. You want to be able to be a good resource because that's going to open up a lot of doors, I think, too. People want to help people who help them.
Resource, I think, is the optimal word there.
Mhm.
I know we're running up on our time here, but
I could talk to
there's
you all day.
one
Yeah.
of my local liquor stores that I'm working with, and they're looking to expand a part of theirs and maybe make it into like a deli. Well,
Mm.
there's this sandwich shop that I found, like this hole in the wall sandwich shop that I've driven by probably for 20 years, never stopped in. I saw it. I'm like, fuck, dude, I'm hungry. So I turned around, parked, went in there. I got a pastrami sandwich. It was like a flavor bomb in my face.
Mm.
I literally, I literally hit the brakes in my car. Like, oh my God. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, I walked back in. I'm like, dude, why are you guys not more visible? And they're
Right.
like, I don't know. I'm thinking about selling the place. I'm like, okay, you're going to be selling a gold mine. So I
Mhm.
go back to the liquor store and I said, "Hey, this sandwich shop who makes killer
Like
sandwiches
quality, yeah.
is like right here.
Mhm.
You guys should definitely get together." So I'm facilitating a connection, and that's a connector. It doesn't have to be just in any realm. It's just finding, the person that needs something, the person that wants something, put them together, and that's buyers, that's sellers, that's lenders, that's
It doesn't
realtors,
have to cost money at all. It can
business
be
owners.
literally just a deep thought, you know?
Just a deep thought.
Yeah.
That is it. So my last thought, and I want to get your real thought on this one.
Okay.
This has been buzzing around my brain for a while to kind of go offline and online for marketing for
Mhm.
2024. So obviously my name's Greg McDaniel, right? Have you ever gone onto Facebook and typed in your name and seen all the people that pop up with your exact same name?
That's not my problem. Um, I've never met another Alyssa that spells it, pronounces it the same. I've never met another Alyssa Glutz, but yeah. So where are you going with that? Yeah. I don't
So
have a common name, but yeah.
so here's my thought pattern. There are tens of thousands of people because I also put a Google alert on my name. So every time, like, and I'm by the way, I'm a black guy and I'm in the South because
Right.
I'm always popping up in the news, or I'm a white cop. That's the
Right.
two things that come up.
That's Greg
But the
McDaniel.
thing
Yeah.
is that what if you put together a networking group of people with your same name?
Okay, there's a guy, a comedian who did a one-man show years ago, and he did that. It was called Where Is, and it was his first and last name. I'll try to remember what it was, but it was brilliant. He literally went and met all of the people that had the exact same name all over the world. And this was like a one-man show of him, his journeys of this. But yes, keep going. So see, it's already won awards, so it's a brilliant idea.
But it's so simple because you already have a connection.
Yep.
You're going face to face if you can, or you're doing video calls if you're not in the same area. But let's say Greg McDaniel in Florida
Yeah.
does landscaping. Great. Now we're networking with all the Greg McDaniels.
Oh,
And
I
I'm
love
like,
it.
dude, I got some great dudes in Florida that need help with this. Let me refer them over to you.
Let me call the
Or,
McDaniels group. And it's like
dude,
all of your Greg McDaniels across the country.
oh, dude, talk about a lot of weird people.
Yeah.
But but think about that simplistic idea, because you're connecting with people in a way that no one's ever connected. Everyone's
Mhm.
like, send postcards, do this, do that.
Same
Why don't you
card.
say,
Yeah.
dude, you got the same name as I do. What do you do for a living? What's your best client look like? How can I help you grow your business? How can I
I love
bring
that.
value to you? Now, law of reciprocity again kicks back to you. And now all of a sudden, there's a community of people that are like minded
Mhm.
because of the same name and the opportunity. And it's just funny as
I
shit
love it. I think that's funny.
that we're all just have the same name, right?
You just need that thing that you feel, it doesn't take a lot to look at somebody and go, "We're gonna get along." Like, we have like, I've noticed anymore, I noticed, because I'm on TikTok, okay? When I meet somebody, and no judgment if you don't watch TikTok or you're not on it and you don't believe in it and you're not, no judgment, okay? It's not that
That's
we
their
can't
own
be
choice.
friends.
Life
Right.
choices.
But I just know right off the bat, when I do like a call or I meet somebody and I say, "Are you on TikTok?" and they say, "Yeah," I can always go, like, I already know that you're
Mhm.
gonna know, and I go, you know, I don't know, just throwing out some funny thing that only TikTok people know, but it almost puts you in immediate comfort zone where it's like, you can be a little bit more vulnerable. Like, I won't throw it out, but I'll curse a little, whatever. It's a connection.
But that all okay, that throws out a whole new idea, because a lot when I have thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people sending me friend requests, and I'm so blessed and so
Mhm,
honored for that kind generosity. But I always check to see if we're common friends.
mhm,
So what if you made the Alyssa Glutz, the Bob Smith, the Greg McDaniel, the Tim Stevens, pick a name, right?
mhm.
Nick Sakis, whatever. All of a sudden, all of you guys become buddies and all of their friends become buddies. Now you don't even know who you don't know that's connected with other people that have the same name. And if I look at, Greg McDaniel from Alabama,
Mhm.
for whatever job or opportunity, I'm like, oh my God, he knows Alyssa? Get out of here.
Isn't it
Credibility.
instantly give you something though? Like if you think about it, if I see somebody pop up and they're like mutual friends, and the
Oh,
mutual friends are
credibility.
like my drunk aunt or something, and I'm just kidding. I'm like,
Well, Aunt Susie needs to stay
we know,
away.
yeah, Aunt Susie. Yeah, this is gonna be a good one. No, you kind of start associating, like maybe we don't call that one. No. Have you ever had any? I have never in my life like reached out to somebody, not that I'm judging you, but I've had people that have called me and said, "Hey, do you know this girl or this guy?" And I'll say,
Yeah.
"Yeah." And they'll say, "Oh, well, they just connected with me and I don't know who they are." And I just automatically start thinking, what are they doing? Why are they trying to steal my friends? They're just trying to connect with people. That's how they connect. If we have a mutual friend. But next thing you
Mhm.
know, my mom will be like, "Who are all these dudes following me?" I'm like, "They're all the guys who want to date me. They're all following me, mom. They all want to make connections with you, mom." Anyway, but it is pretty funny.
But
Looking for those connections or the movies or the things you might have in common through those pages.
very example, it can be so simplistic for the commonalities, but it comes down to this in life. Going old school, new school, offline, online, getting tactical in 2024. The takeaway I'm taking from this personally is getting interpersonally connected with another human being. We
Mhm.
can do ads. You can do everything electronic as much as you want until there's an e-bomb, and then everything's going to be screwed. But the one thing that will never change is the ability for human connection.
Mhm.
I would highly recommend going out and taking some of these thoughts. And a lot of the stuff that we talked about is humorous, but we still have to talk about the orphan program because I promised
You
everybody I
gotta
would
tell me
tell
about
them
that.
about the
Yeah.
orphan program. So the orphan program is very, very, very simple. So basically, it's exactly this. And nobody talks about this. And I still don't know why people don't talk about this.
Mhm.
So the orphan program is any sale in your market, buy, sell, doesn't matter. You get in contact, most likely the buys, because those would be in the area, the people in your area that are going to
Mhm.
stay there because they just purchased the property.
Right.
So it doesn't matter who the listing agent was because once that contract's over, there's no obligation there, there's no fiduciary, there's nothing. It's a dead zone.
Over.
So put every single person that has sold or bought a property in the last 7 to 3 years back, or 10 years and back. Put them into a follow-up program. You can buy the data very simply. There's a lot of data companies. And then you send them emails, you do pop buys, and you're like, hey, because you can go to title, have your VA or an assistant go in and check these different dates, right? You can start with anybody that happened this month, right? Start small. Doesn't have to go back forever. But then every year on the sale date of their property or the purchase date of their property, you say, hey, congratulations. It's been 5 years, 3 years, 2 years, whatever it is.
Mhm.
Congratulations. They're like, who in the hell are you? You're like,
Yeah.
I'm a local realtor that cares about, my local community. I just want to say congratulations. It's been a wonderful year. And I just want to say hello. My a good friend of mine, his name is Bob Wolf. If you want to look him up, it's WOLFF. He's out of Southern California. This guy, I have met with him multiple times. He is an absolute monster in real estate. Monster.
Mhm.
Last time I saw him, he was in a $5,000 suit on his knees with three assistants running around with probably 15 contracts in front of him. And I asked him, I'm like, Bob, how? And by the way, he's actually really good friends with my parents. He actually vacationed up here to go see my dad. My dad and he are been buddies forever. I asked him, like, Bob, how do you get so much freaking business?
Mhm.
He said, Greg, I just call people that bought or sold in my area and to say congratulations on the purchase of the sale of your property. How can I help you or serve you? And I'm like, what
Wasn't even
the
part of the transaction, if I'm being
nope.
clear, right? It's
Was
just
was
Public
not part of
record
the
that you
transaction.
closed on this house, and I just wanted to pop by and say congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. It looks like from the records, it's been 3 years. It looks like you guys have made an extra, $72,000 on your equity.
Mhm.
Congratulations. I hope you have a great day.
Yep.
And people are like, "What the? Are
Yeah.
you serious?"
Yeah.
Okay.
I know a lady that has a system of every client that doesn't end up going with her because maybe they go with another lender that's cheaper. She calls them every week after they've fired her just to say, how's it going over there? How's it going on? She said, the majority of her business comes from the ones that fired her and come back to her. Just wanted to let you know the times in my life where I've had people that have shopped and decided to go with someone else. I'm telling you, because I learned early on, I always say to them, do not lose my number. Don't be mad at me if I contact you very soon, because I know that what they're giving you. And I think that's great, but anything can happen. Okay. And in a couple weeks, if anything happens to where you are starting to get nervous that they're not going to see something your way, don't just take no for an answer. Okay. I am the backup. I am your person. Like, do not forget. And every time I've said that, they've come back and they've been a client for life now, you know?
You know what? And that can go even deeper. And I
Yeah.
love where you went with that.
Mhm.
Imagine all the for rent by owners, for sale by owners, the expireds. Why are we not calling them on a consistent basis, going like, "Hey, man, not trying to bother you. I know your property came off the market 2 weeks ago. Can I help you?" No.
Right.
Next week. "Hey, man, we spoke last week. Has anything changed?" No. "Hey, man, what's new? Anything going on? Can I help you?" No. "Hey, man," 4 weeks later. I'm just following up. Greg, I get it.
Let's talk.
And my wife and I talked, and we actually want to do relist it. And you've been so consistent. We're
That's
gonna
it.
go with you.
You've been hanging out. You've been coming back to me. It's the simplest thing. But I think a lot of us, our ego is like, oh, they'll remember me. I mean, look what I did for them, right? But if I just send a little weekly, hey, just want to say hi, they
It's a
remember that. Yeah.
So, if anybody knows about Asian culture, you know about the idea of a death by a thousand cuts, right?
Mhm.
Well, same difference in real estate. Death by a thousand cuts. Either you get cut out of the business because you weren't sticking to it, or death by a thousand cuts of just staying in contact, staying in contact, staying in contact,
Stay
staying in
consistent.
contact, staying in contact. I had a gal that I trained probably 10 years ago at this point, and young Asian gal. I don't know why everybody's Asian in this story, but she is. And she started working here in Alamo, which is a very affluent area here in Northern California. She was going after this like $5 or $7 million listing as a baby agent, right?
Mhm, mhm.
But she had fucking lady balls like nobody's business.
Right.
And she rolls up on this fucking house on Christmas morning. "Hi,
I'm
we've
here.
been talking. Do you still want to sell your home?" And the seller looks at her dead in the face. She told me the story in class. Goes, "You got some serious balls for knocking on my door right now. You're my agent."
You're my agent. You're my bulldog. You're
You're,
who
you're-
I need to make it uncomfortably awkward,
yeah,
to get what I want. Yeah. But
but
yeah, that's awesome.
it's about being relevant and consistent and persistent. Once you tackle and achieve those thought patterns, ain't
Everything.
nothing. There's
Yeah.
nothing you can't beat. I'm talking about personal issues. Let's say you want to lose some weight and you really love.
Oreos. Yeah. Oh. Dun, 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 dun. I'm just kidding. He'll be back in just a minute. Okay, Oreo
All
cookies.
right, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. Stupid mic. I need to get a new cord for it. But here's the
I
thing.
felt like Wayne and Garth, where that moment when Wayne's gone and then Garth's just standing there and he's like, "Hello,
Hello.
uh,
Hello. Um,
hello."
I fucking forgot about that movie.
Sorry, great part.
All right. So, what have we not covered in today's show that you would like to cover, Alyssa? Did we leave anything out on your checklist?
Oh, the orphan program. We just make that more clear. So the actual orphan program is, if you had to give it a one sentence definition, It's basically you are loving everybody, even though like you're marketing to them, even though they weren't your client that you closed.
Well, there's nothing illegal about that. It's in California. Check with your broker, check with your state. I
Yeah.
want to make sure that everyone's in the same legal standing. In California, what we can do and what we have done is that we go in and find any property that has been purchased here in the area, and then we go back and we send them a card, or we do a pop by on the anniversary of that sale or
Right.
purchase. Excuse me, I keep saying sale, but it's a purchase, right? Same difference. And you say, hey, congratulations, it's been 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. And you
Right.
say, is there anything I can do to help grow your business? Is there anything, anyone I can connect you with? No. Yes. Okay. Have a blessed day.
That's the orphan program.
That's the orphan program, because what it is that 90%, 99% of us don't follow up with our past clients efficiently.
Right.
So there's a lot of folks that are going to go out there and work with somebody who's subpar in regards to as an agent. Now, I'm not saying agents are subpar who listen to this program, because everybody listening to this program is amazing.
But there's a chance they might have just you slip in when they slip out. Sorry, I'm orphan program. Did you come up with that name? That's where I was kind of getting to. Is that it?
No.
Is it something like Keller Williams, like tag?
No. This has been something that was taught to me back about 20 years ago, 25 years ago by Howard Britton. Howard Britton, who has passed away from the Star Power program. That got sold to another guy who I'm not a big fan of. But I'll tell you one thing. When I heard that, I'm like, that's the most simplistic, easy marketing plan on God's green earth, because you can go to any sale 1, 3, 5 years and just start marketing to them, because we know people on average sell about every 5 to 7 years. So why don't you go 3 years to 10 years and start popping by with a dollar scratcher with your business card attached to it, with a penny taped on the back, going, hey, my name's Greg. I'm with eXp Realty. I got to tell you, congratulations. They're like, what? Congratulations. Today is your 3-year anniversary of you purchasing your home. I just want to, come by and give you a gift. And, here's a scratcher. And I hope you guys make some money. And if you have any questions, give me a call.
So it's just using the method to be in the right place at the right time. You're using strategy. You're thinking of what you know about them. I love that. Okay. That made it clear. I just wasn't clear about that. But I think other than that program and everything else, I think we've covered a lot.
Yeah, I think we've covered a shit ton. I mean, I'm actually impressed on how much we got covered in the show. The
last thing I'll say is,
sure.
I think the only thing I would say is, if you're going to, coming from a biased lender, if you're going to work with a lender as your partner with leads, like first-time homebuyer leads or whatever the case, something to where you're going to get a little information, and then you're going to hopefully get them over to a lender to start talking and seeing if they can even do anything, because you don't even want to go down that road, and that's how you do your business. Yeah. In that case, spend extra time sharpening the axe before you slice. Like, find the person like me. No, find the person who is going to be a good partner for you and is really going to go after those leads the right way,
Well, it can be double-sided. It could be the local. Okay, so you're in Arizona, and I use you as my lender at this point, right?
Yeah.
So what if, shut up. What if
I'm always on the edge. I'm sorry. I'm always about to get fired. Anyway.
So shut up. So let's say I go pop by, right? And I say, let me update my information. What's your best cell phone and email? Well, you just gave me money, so right? Email, phone number. I then take a photo. Alyssa calls. Hey, my name's Alyssa. I'm a lender with Greg McDaniel, and I understand it's your anniversary on your home, and I just want to congratulate you on that, and just say, love to have a conversation with you. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But it's a double head hit. Now they're never going to forget you. You do it every freaking year. 99.99999 sound like I'm German. Percent of lenders and agents will never do this ever. Just why not?
Yeah. Teaming
Forget
up
about door
together, but
knocking, guys.
really being able to, you got to know that these leads that sometimes you call them, even as a lender, we call them, one time, two times, three times. You got to, it's sometimes, what is it, 5 to 8 times before sometimes they answer or they connect with you or they respond to a text. We're all very trained to go, oh, that's probably a robocall, or, oh, that's probably a scam. So you've got to say something different. You got to do something different.
And that's the whole point. It's doing what other people won't do.
Yeah.
Now, speaking about that, like I've trained myself. Now it's pouring rain outside right now in Northern California during this recording.
Hmm.
Something I've been getting into dramatically over the last couple of months is cold plunging in freezing weather.
Crazy.
And I get out there, guys, and I'll tell you one thing. I'll stand out there in my swimsuit and I'll just sit there and I literally ask myself, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
Like what rational human is out in 30-degree weather to jump in a colder pool?
Yeah.
And so I tell myself this, if a Navy SEAL can do it, I can do it.
Hmm.
And then I run and I jump and I get dunked into the water and I pop up and I'm just like,
Cry like a little man. Yes.
but then I sit there and I sit there and I get cold and I just swim around in the pool. And here's the
Mhm.
reason why I do this. It proves to myself every single day that I do things that are uncomfortable that other people won't do, that transfers into my business life and my personal life
Mhm.
on a very large factor. Once you find something that you do that other people can't do, maybe it's not cold plunging, right? Maybe it's running up a hill. Maybe it's doing a marathon.
Something
Maybe it's
fancy.
skydiving that people are terrified of. Maybe it's fill in something that other people are afraid of. And if you do it consistently, you have now proven that you have more power than your competitors because you have a mindset that is set in a place that other people won't go because it's not comfortable. When in reality, what's more comfortable? Doing the uncomfortable thing
Yeah.
in the beginning and then getting the reward, or waiting for the reward and then doing the comfortable thing if
Mhm.
you can afford it. Nobody thinks about it like this. And I'm telling you, it sucks. It really,
But there's
really
nothing that
sucks.
will elevate or will change your state, like Tony Robbins talks about state. Like
State of mind.
it's almost like at the beginning of a race, how they shoot the gun.
Yeah,
And
bang, boom.
immediately, even if we were just like da 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 talking to our friends, the gun goes off. We're like ready to go, right? You know what that sound means. You know that they're ready. The cold plunge for what I hear you say is um, that it's something that instantly sparks you into gear. Like you do it in the morning, and it's almost like boom. It puts you in the mindset you need to be in to win for the day, to be successful for what you see. It has worked for you in the past. You have a good experience with it.
Yep.
And it's something tangible that you can do that doesn't take a lot of energy. You got to take off your clothes and walk out and poof, can you do
In
it?
the pool.
Mind over matter, so anyway, I think if it's not cold plunging, find that something. For me, it's like 25 minutes on my treadmill every day.
There we
That's
go.
been a commitment, but I'm glad every day I do it. And then after, I make a big deal about how good I feel, like over the top exaggeration. I'm like, God, that feels good. Good. And I give my whole body this
Yeah.
awakening of like, that's what you want, bitch. That's what you want. No. And anyway,
But
it
it's
makes you want to
true. I
come
mean,
back.
next week on the 14th on Valentine's Day, we have Vanessa coming on the show,
Oh, wait.
and she is a very aggressively awesome human being in Southern California. She is huge into cold plunging, and we're going to talk about kind of the same mindset.
Mhm.
And for me, it's becoming more aggressive, and it's teaching me how to do this in my business life because this is going to probably be too much information for everybody, but that's just kind of who I am.
Now we're invested.
So,
Go. Yeah.
dude, I don't even wear a swimsuit anymore. I'm just go buck ass naked into the pool. That is a different experience because all your bits are hitting the water at the same time, and you're just kind of like, ho, 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 ho,
God, that's
ho,
crazy.
ho.
I don't need any more visually.
But
But yeah.
but who else do you know that will push to the limits like that for 2024 and 2025? I guarantee you couldn't find 3 friends that would do this with you. I guarantee you. And I'm not talking about cold plunges. That's just an analogy. Basically, what it is, it's the thought pattern of being aggressive, being persistent, being consistent. Never don't do something that you think you should do. Now, I failed on that this morning. I had the urge to roll over and give my girlfriend a big snuggle. I didn't do it. I was ticked off at her. So I didn't do it. I've regretted it all day. Not going to do it tomorrow morning because I didn't do it this morning. So what opportunities? Because I missed an opportunity this morning. Now, she could have told me to go fuck off, or she could have been like, snuggle back, right? That's a client.
Change your behavior, yeah.
Are they going to tell you to fuck off, or are they going to snuggle back? Are they going to allow you to do business with them? Or are they going to allow you, or are they going to tell you to like, hey, I don't want the business?
Right.
Okay, at least you tried.
Yep.
And at least you did something different. So what's the different part? Figure out what is your standout aspect. Is it religious, physical, mental? I mean,
interests. It could be music. It could be
anything.
Lawn care. I mean, yeah, people have it. There's all kinds of stuff.
All right, we've gone 20 minutes over our due time here.
We don't have anything else to do today. No.
I think Alyssa and I could probably go for another hour and a half on this pretty easily, but I know she has shit to do. So I want you guys to first follow Alyssa on Color My Credit. Alyssa, where can they find you?
colormycredit.com. You can just Google Color My Credit and you'll find a lot of the podcasts and all the different ways to kind of connect. But Monday and Friday, 11 to noon Arizona time, you can come into the TikTok live that I do and ask questions or learn from what other people have questions about, all related to how to improve your mortgage credit scores to buy a house specifically.
And it's phenomenal content. I actually watch her myself. This is not a push for her, but it's just a fact of life. I do watch Alyssa, and I really do enjoy the content. That's literally not a joke.
It's good to discuss.
Go follow her on Color My Credit everywhere. And guys, follow me on Instagram, Facebook. Just look for this handsome, ugly mug. And let's get into a dialogue. If you guys are looking to switch brokerages over to EXP, if you guys are looking to just get an idea for a new potential script or something else that you guys can build your business on, I'm 100% free to talk to. Love to hang out with any awesome human. So you guys are amazing. Here's the thing. We really cannot do this show without you. I mean, the followers, subscribers, the comments, when you listen to this all the way through, it makes a ton of difference for us. So thank you beyond words.
Thank you.
And until next time, peace out, ninjas. We gone.